The Trump administration has announced a tariff waiver on a number of Chinese products, signaling an ease in U.S. China trade tensions. The two countries are also set to resume their long-suspended trade talks, which could start as early as this week. Our Kim Da-mi reports.
The Trump administration says it will exempt 110 Chinese products ranging from medical equipment to key capacitors from hefty tariffs. The waiver list will provide relief from 25% duties that the U.S. slapped on $34 billion worth of Chinese imports a year ago. The one-year-long exemptions are also good news to American firms, which say the taxes harm their business. Plus, in a surprise announcement Tuesday, U.S. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross said Washington will issue licenses to American firms looking to sell goods to Chinese telecom giant Huawei, so long as the sales pose no threat to U.S. national security. However, industry observers say the announcement failed to provide details on which products would meet the standard. In May, Huawei was placed on the U.S. Commerce Department's so-called entity list amid concerns it was spying for the Chinese government. U.S. parts and components generally cannot be sold to those on the list without special licenses. In other developments, the world's two biggest economies will finally resume trade talks following a 2-month hiatus. This comes as Larry Kudlow, the director of the U.S. National Economic Council and a top economic advisor to President Trump, said last week that a face-to-face meeting was on the cards. Reuters reported Tuesday that negotiations would start as early as this week with a phone call between U.S. Trade Representative Robert Lighthizer, U.S. Treasury Secretary Steven Mnuchin, and Chinese Vice Premier Liu He. The resumption of talks comes after the leaders of the two countries met on the sidelines of the G20 summit in Japan last month. There, Trump agreed to suspend a new round of tariffs on $300 billion worth of imported Chinese goods, while the two sides resumed negotiations. Kim Da-mi, Arirang News.